Hello and welcome to my Half Life Alyx Quarantine Zone. Chapter 2B. And we're looking for resin and bullets. The floating headphones is the developer commentary.
We got a lot of positive feedback from our initial experiments requiring players to perform a series of physical actions to reload the pistol. Specifically, ejecting the clip, retrieving a new clip from their backpack, inserting the clip into the gun, and chambering around. Players enjoyed learning and improving at this skill. We experimented with using a single button for both ejecting a clip and chambering around, but we found that assigning these operations to two different buttons was more interesting, even though it was more mentally taxing. In fact, it was more interesting precisely because it was more mentally taxing, as players would frequently mix up the buttons under pressure. In the early stages of the game, players would be fumbling for clips, ejecting the clips when they meant to be chambering around, and generally making a mess. To those of us observing the playtest, this looked like things had gone horribly wrong, but players themselves consistently cited this as a high point of their playthroughs. Because of the physical nature of the reload, and the skill required, players blamed themselves and not the game for the mistakes made as they were learning the reloading sequence. In this area, we provide a number of static targets in the form of barnacles for players to shoot at their own pace, increasing the likelihood that they have at least a few reloads under their belt before moving on.
Since this is our first time play, we're going to listen to the commentary from the developers. I need lots of practice at catching items. if you would, look to the lower right hand corner of the video and press that subscribe button. It's free, doesn't cost you anything at all.
Oh, do you need a minute? 'Cause, I mean, I could pause the feed.
Just looking, Russ.
Now we need to look around for resin and bullets. And save often. And that door over there, that's what we have to open. And when you get started, when you're just starting, yeah, take your time and gather stuff. And YouTube allows you, as the viewer, to subscribe to 2,000 channels for free. So we just need one of those free subscriptions. See, the story or difficulty is on story. So it's the least. See, easy. Oh, like we're going to do each one. The simplest of combat. The first time we go through it. We'll see. where we go from there. And be sure to look underneath the video to the far left and you'll see our YouTube channel, GFM_RDG, where there's over 1,300 more videos that you can watch. Look around that board. There we go. Oh. Ugh. And you can look underneath the video in the description. You find ways to donate and join our Patreon. Yep, there's one in there. Now we get to have fun with this thing. But I've got full health, so I don't really need the health thing.
In prior Half-Life games, while playing as Gordon, the player saw Alyx use her multi-tool to hack into Combine security systems in order to unlock doors or perform other acts of sabotage. This presented an opportunity for us to represent Alyx's hacking skills through VR-centric minigames. All of our hacking minigame designs were built to leverage the independently tracked head and hands common to today's VR systems. We wanted to encourage players to use both hands simultaneously and move their head to create parallax to understand the spatial relationships within the puzzles. This locker hacking puzzle is based upon one of our earliest prototypes, in which the player was tasked with using a tool in one hand to paint a path on a sphere held by the other hand. There was just something fun and unique about using all of the natural degrees of freedom of both hands to solve a puzzle in VR. In its simplest form, this puzzle solution is straightforward, but the difficulty gradually increases throughout the course of the game by introducing static or moving obstacles of various shapes and sizes on the sphere.
I need to stand back a little bit. Kind of like that's the key and this is the lock. Like that. Okay.
You know, Russell, now that I'm walking into the quarantine zone, it just hit me. I don't know anything about the quarantine zone.
Well, actually, the word quarantine comes from the Italian 40 giorni, which means 40 days, the period that all ships were required to be isolated before crew could go ashore during the Black Death.
All right. Cool.
That's the control panel. I've probably scrambled the circuit, but considering no one would be dumb enough to open the hatch, it shouldn't be too hard to put back.
Okay, so we gotta turn this. Nope. Until the light goes through. Like that. Well, that was fun.
Haha! There we go, finally.
I'm gonna head in. How far is Fairview Junction?
You'll go through the old subway tunnels on your way to the train yard.
Have they started moving Dad yet?
I don't think so, which is good news because we've still got time.
Oh, that's great.
Or bad news because they've already killed him. And you don't need to move a corpse, you just bury it. Or burn it. You still there, Alex?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is where we're going to end this video and then we'll start the next one. I do appreciate you coming along and hopefully you join us for the next video, and also hopefully you'll press that free subscribe, watch more of our videos, consider donating and joining our Patreon. So until the next video, thank you for watching. Goodbye.